Shalom. First and foremost, once again, giving all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Arakak Radash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And if I didn't say, I also want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops. All right. And what I want to get into is, and I can't forget, even including the elect, shalom to y'all. So now, getting into this article in regards to the you know what, which what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start testing the waters a little bit and see if I can get back to actually using that word. But I'm just being real gradual with it. I just said it on my last video, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, right? Because I'm gonna be playing sly here just a little bit, and if the algorithm allows me to say it, then I'll go back to start saying it again. So anyway, let's get right into it. Biometricupdate.com. UK government reveals MDL pilot gov.co.uk digital wallet plans. Ambitious digital government expansion to utilize AI automation. A gov.uk digital wallet and app will be introduced this year to ease access to public services. They misspelt that. For British residents, according to an announcement confirming the planned launch of the digital driver's license. The Department of Science, Innovation and Technology says the digital license referred to later in the same announcement as mobile driver's license will be made available later this year, along with the digitized veteran cards. The government plans for the digital wallet to hold various ID cards, as well as its disclosure and bearing service checks and all other government-issued credentials by the close of 2027. And we're really pleased to see the UK government giving individuals easier ways to prove their ID using verified driver's license details with the potential to store other government issued documents and entitlements. Entitlement, says Yodi, co-founder and the CEO Robert Toms, in a statement emailed to Biometric Update. And this kind of reminds me of Tony Blair again, because I would say maybe 2 years ago it was. Tony Blair was being interviewed with this guy. Now, they both were being interviewed together at the same time. And the other guy that he was interviewed, the guy that was next to him that was being interviewed with him, his name was William Hague, which he was the former conservative leader since 97 to 2001. And then he was the Secretary of State for Wales in 95 to 1997. Yeah, so this guy, him and Tony Blair were being interviewed. I think they were on BBC or something like that, one of those mainstream media outlets. And all Tony Blair was basically doing was giving a salesman's pitch on the digital ID thing, right? So now all of a sudden, this is being pushed this year. Everybody's on a race where it concerns the West, primarily the main nations, that is, Great Britain and America. They're both on a race to forwarding this AI infrastructure, and we know what the end result is going to be as to why they're doing this. It's going to result to people having to get the mark of the you know what. All right, and I'll say the real word later on. Okay, again, I'm just being sly. I'm gonna just be sly and be gradual with it and see if I'm allowed to actually say that without my video getting taken down. So anyway, yeah. And I'm not speaking on anything that's bad or way out there crazy the way they gotta shut it down. Like, I'm just speaking about what we usually speak about. So I don't really see the big deal why I can't use that term any doggone way. So yeah, we gonna get right back into this though. We're really pleased to see the UK's government giving individuals easier way to prove their ID using verified driver's license details with the potential to store other government issued documents. And entitlement, says Yodi, co-founder and CEO of Robert Toms, in his statement emailed to the biometric update. Yeah, so I remember, Yodi, they had a commercial some time ago, and I'll post that on the post production as well to show you if you don't remember it. So yeah, Esau, they're definitely on the path, man. They're definitely on the pathway to getting this sorted out. Operation Warp Speed type, you know. So, yeah. So as this reads, so now to continue, Toms notes the similarity between the UK's plans and those in places like Europe and Australia, where people can choose between a government or a private sector provided digital ID. Science Secretary Peter Kyle says the moves consigns piles of papers, letters from the government, and hours of waiting on hold to get an appointment for a government service to pass, along with CDs and the Walkman and flip phones. He goes on to suggest that the new MDL digital wallet and app will ease both public and private services, right? And yes, this is what's going to, you know, make this thing very attractive. This digital ID stuff is convenient. You don't have to line up. You don't have to, uh, wait for all of your information to be, read out just like I just read to you. It's very convenient. It's quick, and most of us have been now trained to lack patience and to want things for the now. All right, and they've done that by purpose, because the world that they're setting up is going to be based on AI, where things are just going to pop up on the data quick, and you're going to be able to get what you want quick. All right, as the swipe of a hand, and that's where it's going to end up. You're going to take that mark, and when you take that mark, you're going to be right in conjunction with the system. All right, and that's what they're building. And being that the UK primarily is the financial nation, primarily smack dab in the city of London, which ain't even a part of the United Kingdom, which we know why that's even the case. But, that's another topic for a different time. So, you have the three city states around the world. You have the Vatican, which is the religious spiritual sector. And then you have the military sector, which is America. And you have the financial district of the world, which is down here in London, primarily the city of London, So in Revelation 16 and 13, as it mentions, as John the Revelator puts it, I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, because all of these three city states are a part of this beast. The dragon just represents the beast that we're under, the beast referring to the Roman system, the newly reformed Roman system. I would better put it that way instead. And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet, again, the Vatican Church, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, right, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Almighty, right? Because ultimately, all of these three entities, these three city states, are going to pretty much persuade you to do what it is that they want you to do. And if they want you to go fight this war in the Third World's War, then that's what you're going to wind up doing. All right? Especially if you're disenchanted where it concerns the truth. All right? And you're in the world and you don't know what the hell is going on. You're going to fall victim to the devices of the devil. All right? And they're going to tell you to do A, B, and C. And primarily, they want you to take that mark so you can coincide with the system. And that way, they will be able to determine that, excuse me, about the Steves. Salakia. So once you get that mark is going to determine whether you, and it's not no whether, excuse me, it's going to determine that you are down for the system. You are down for the world, the new world order system. And those that fight up against it, they're already going to know, okay, well, they're on the other side of the fence. They ain't with us. So we're going to have to take these niggas out. All right? And if that got to be me, then hell, that's, hey, so so it can be. All right. Um, yeah, verse 15 now. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, which is the truth, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. There you go. So we gotta always hold on to this truth, no matter what the situation is, no matter what we go through, no matter the doubts that we have, which are really just plainly demons. It's really messing with brothers. And if you got those doubts, you gotta pray to the Lord. We all get it from time to time. We gotta pray those demons out. And really, realistically, there's no time for that doubting, wounded knee, woe is me spirit. We gotta get up in Adam. We gotta forsake the weak nature and gird up our loins like a man. All right, that's what we got to do. Because man, this world can change in a matter of time. Anything could happen. Yeah, I have another article that I want to read as well. Bank of England to launch digital pound lab. As this reads, the BOE has announced the creation of a dedicated digital pound lab to experiment with a central bank digital currencies. According to the BOE website, the move signals the end of the consultation and response phase and the beginning of the design phase as a part of its ongoing preparation for a potential UK central bank digital currency. The Digital Pound Lab will enable hands-on experimentation for testing API functionality, innovative use cases, and potential business models for PIPs and ESIPs. A final decision on the launch of the digital pound could take up to 2 years. Double and Double CN reports the lab looks to explore the potential applications and technological framework of a government-backed digital currency. Following up consultation and response process, the Bank of England, in collaboration with the HM Treasury, has officially entered the design phase of the digital pound. This phase will focus on developing um, detailed policies and a robust technological framework for the CBDC. The design phase, initiated in 23, is expected to extend until the end of 2025. During this period, the BOE will set up a digital pound lab, described as a technology sandbox environment for hands-on experimentation. This lab will allow the central banks to test various use cases across multiple sectors, providing valuable insight into the digital pound feasibly. The lab will emphasize application programming interface, API functionality, and explore potential business model for external service providers, including payments interface providers. This approach aims to assess the viability of the digital pound as a platform for financial innovation. So they're saying during this period, coming from the double CN report, is that around about this time, right about this time, they're just testing it out, and people will be able to, whether they want to explore it, to experiment it or not, get into it to see how it actually works before it can go out to the public in general, and it covers all aspects of society, which it will be to the to the very near future. And just like this guy said, man, he used to work for the bank. I forgot his name. And what I'll do is I'll put his face on Post Production and you'll see him. And most of you brothers should know who he is. Because he was the one that brought out, and I remember a lot of us brothers spoke about him and what he was saying, that basically in order for the CBDC to work officially, they gotta give you a chip to work it. All right, which is in league with the mark of the beast prophecy, according to Revelations 13:6. So that's what all of this is about, man. I mean, come on, we've been saying it so much so that, it's very, very obvious for where we stand. And for you other guys out here that's in these various camps that are watching Great No Stone, eventually, you know, you may call us whatever you want to call us, but when it's all said and done, we're going to be right. And that's what it's looking like any doggone way. And I'm talking about, yes, the mark of the beast prophecy, Revelations 13:16. Once that comes to pass, all of you guys your minds are going to be split open. You're not going to know what the hell to do on that time. And then it's going to get real from that point. But you see, us back here in Great Millstone, we always knew that this was real anyway. So when it does get real, we're going to deal with it. We're going to know how to deal with it. We're going to overcome it. All right. So anyway, let's get into another topic. Digital driver's license are finally rolling out in the UK. Salakia. Digital driver's license are finally getting into the hands of drivers across the pond. The UK government announced that later this year, the British drivers will be able to have a digital version of their driver's license that they can access via a dedicated app. In a press release, the UK government says the rollout of digital driver's license is part of a broader effort to get people to interact with the government digitally, something they say will help streamline processes and give people easier access to their identification. The UK government says it expects to save 45 billion in efficiency saving with this digital switch. Digital license will start to be available to drivers starting this summer. Wow. And by 2027, the government says that the digital wallet app will expand to include things like veteran ID cards and DBS checks, which is a criminal record check that used in employment and license verifications. The UK joins a growing list of governmental bodies that have rolled out digital license for drivers. Here in the US, 8 states allow drivers to use digital license for things like age verification, improving the ability to drive. There are some pretty big downsides to digital licenses, though. For one, they can be easily forged and hacked, and there are still many places, such as airports, that won't accept digital license and IDs as a form of identification yet. And in this unfortunate event, you get pulled over and you happen to hand your phone to a cop for them to verify your identity. If your digital license, that might be enough for an excuse for them to search your phone. So while these digital tools are great in getting people on board with tech, and UK officials say that the apps will be safe with features like facial recognition, let's hope both citizens and the UK government are aware of the risks that come with this technology. And I mean, they don't really care about the risk. They don't really care. Their thing is, look, we want to get this technology out there so that we can keep tabs on everybody. And through this technology, we can become the gods that we want to become. All right? That's what Esau wants. As it is written, man, that the wicked are never to be satisfied. That's in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. All right? The spirit in him is not upright in him. Matter of fact, let me go and read it. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. In other words, he transgresses against the ways of the Lord with his false doctrine, using wisdom of wickedness, which is no wisdom, by the way. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's that one world system. And that's what he's building on. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to hone in the technology side of things, and then get everybody on board by getting that C-hip at last. All right. And once you get that C-hip, guess what? The devil still will not be satisfied. These people collectively will never be satisfied. There's always going to be some more shit that they're gonna have you get into for their own benefit. It ain't gonna stop just there. All right. That's just one part of the New World Order. They probably have so many various agendas that they haven't even spoken about until they get people see him first. But this devil ain't gonna stop in his wickedness. You know, as the saying goes, wickedness knows no bounds, especially where it concerns these people that's ruling over us, man. All right? They're going to keep doing evil until it even destroys them, because they're not satisfied. And as Habakkuk pointly puts out that because what? The spirit of him is not upright in him. All right? Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 scores and six. And that is indeed that implantable device, which is going to be towards all men, no matter what caste system you fall under. You will be given that mark. And that mark, you will be able to be identified with the system. All right? They can identify you, and you'll be identified with them. And that's what they want. They want you in conjunction with their world. And if you are against it, then to you, you're the enemy. Which in fact is true, because you're an enemy to their God. And they're doing this under the behest of the God that they worship, which is Shaitan. All right. And that mark is gonna signify, once you take that mark is gonna signify that you're down with the banking elite and you're willing to be perpetual slaves under them and to serve their God, to include. All right. So that's all I got to say with this one. Is I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bahashem Marakak Wadash. And with that, I'm closing on this. Shalom.